Greetings, my friends, and welcome to Easy Caning with CaneBenders. What I've done is made some blends of the colors shown here, which I'll put in the description box, and they're all souffle. So 2 blends, there were 6 colors there, so I made a blend of 2 of each of those that are coordinated, but you can use any blends that you want. And I made myself some simple jelly rolls. So just remember to make a little tight lip there so that you won't have a hole in the middle. Then I cut them in half. I'm going to take a 1/2 inch rod and I'm going to press it down into that jelly roll. It's easier to do it when it's still small, so even if you're going to reduce it later, just start with them this size, the size that you end up with. I'm going to drop in a line, and you'll see me using lines. There's also poppy seed, which is black in souffle. You'll see me using these lines a lot. Off camera, I have a number 5 sheet of the black, and I use this one and the other one to create interest in the cane and to divide the colors. So this combination is Sandcastle and white. And we're keeping the lines straight right off the bat. You want to always be aware of it. As soon as you start forming your cane, you want to start looking at your lines, and that's going to help you so much. So I reduced the blue as much as I needed to fit in that spot, the little blue jelly roll. And I did the same thing with that. I created a channel in that and put in a purple snake. So far pretty easy. We're really just kind of stacking it up. And make sure it's symmetrical. And make sure those registration lines are straight. So there's my black. I'm going to go up and over the whole stack for now. And I'm going to create a little teardrop. You'll see that's a pure color. That's some of that key lime. I keep a little ball of all the original colors around when I make the blends. And that's unblended. I have the more vivid colors just to drop in for interest in the cane here and there. So see, the teardrops kind of fit in those little grooves in the sides. And I'm going to add another line. Now it seems like a hassle, but you know, if you keep your flat material around, your nice thin sheets around of dark and light, it could be really any colors as long as there's a lot of contrast, then you're always going to have them there to put lines wherever you want them. And it's a lot easier than stopping and trying to, you know, make more sheets all the time. So I just keep them on some parchment paper. I have a big pile of them. I'm going to use my little rod to tuck that sheet down into all those little grooves that have been created by the shapes of the components. And now I'm going to wrap my purple cane. So I'm going to put some black on it. That's that number 5 poppy seed that I've got laying around. And I want to make a nice clean seam always. And I kind of emphasize this a little bit in my caning because the more even the wraps are, the more even the places where you join them together, the less bumpiness you'll have, the less variation you'll have in your lines. In this case, though, I'm going to pull it together, and I'm going to use the line. Excuse me, I have laryngitis. I was going to wait to film till it was gone, but I guess it's never going to go away. So I'm going to use that line to make a slice down the center of this cane. It makes a nice straight place. It makes it easy. Because that's going to cause these to be even, and I can place them on the sides of the cane that I'm building. So I'm going to take my little rod and I'm going to make a kind of a lip there, a little bump. And see that little groove in the white cane? Well, I'm going to be able to place it right there on top of that, that beige. I'm just settling it down, making it curved the shape I want. And now I put that little bump into the groove. And I'm just making sure that my groove is kind of even before I pull it together. Now you can leave that open and drop something in it, or you can pinch it shut to start to form your triangle, which is what I did. So I'm pulling it inward. It's starting to have the shape that I want. Just remember, if you leave the channel open, you got to put something in there because it need to be filled. So I'm cutting this in half because I've obviously reduced it some, and I've saved another piece off camera. And I'm going to take this piece and make a channel in it, but because it's already pointy on top, I just laid the bottom of the cane onto the big rod. That's the 3/4 inch. That's the largest one. So now I've made a channel without having to, smash down the point of the triangle. And I've got my other blue half. And I'm making a little cut in it so that I can put something in it. And the purpose of that, probably you've seen my other videos, is just so that I can add interest to it. I don't want it to just be a ball or a triangle. I'd like it to have some kind of little details in there that we can see later on in the cane. I reduce it, wrap it. I left that wide open just because I felt like it. Guess you wouldn't have to. But I wrapped it with the white still showing. So now I see that I want to reduce the other half of the cane enough that I can place it on the sides of this one. So there it is. I just made the size long enough to be doubled the length of the original cane so that I could cut it in half, put it on the sides. And I'm just making sure that those black close up at the bottom so that I don't have any of the beige peeking through. Okay, I'm going to settle it down, make sure I've got all the lines still straight. Make sure that they're getting sharp because we're getting more to the end now, and I don't want it to be too wavy or soft at the edges. I want a good definition. So that's what we got so far. So I'm going to make an indentation with my big rod into the top so I can put my pointy part on, which is going to be that kind of a starbursty thing. So I've got my other half of my jelly rolls all still left. I'm just going to flatten them into capsule shapes with your rod. I start them out kind of with my hand, kind of mashing them, and then I roll the rod over them and trim. So now you can take your 3 rods and you can stack them up. But what I decided to do with this one is use the purple one for accent. And that's a fun decision for you. You can do it, however you want to when you're looking at your work. You can make any mixture of this, really. But I didn't want them just stacked up in kind of a, boring way, so I created some little spots, and the spots kind of shine out like little eyes. I don't know, little rays, or I don't know what they are, but anyway, just cut that the way I'm showing you. That part down the middle is really good for something else later. It's a really pretty even, nice little square that's blended material. I think you'll really like it. But we're not going to use it today. So we're just going to take the sides, because they already have curves on them. We're creating a matching curve in the 2 other colors. And we can just drop the purple line in there. And it'll fit down in there pretty well. When you need the space to be a little bit bigger, just rock your rod back and forth a little bit. The size that I had these made are the size that I always use. And I was always wandering around the house trying to find these shapes. So that's why I had them made. So you see, we cut them and stack them. They're very close to the size of the original cane half, and we'll make them fit when the time comes. I pinch that into a triangle, and I like the way a rectangle looks when you pinch it into a triangle because it's narrower at the top. It gives it a lot of movement. And I'm saving that extra piece because I'm going to use it for something else. So I'm going to drop in one more line. We got plenty of it laying around. another Sandcastle and black. And that's Sandcastle sandwiched between two sheets of black. That's what's really making that whole circle kind of motif that you see in the finished cane. Crimmer up. And start thinking about what we want to do with it. I've been making kind of large objects lately, so that's why I made plenty of cane for this. There we go. I cut it. I made it into some patterns. I really like the patterns. I'm going to make several boxes with it. And there's one.